bounds.
My name is Fatima and I am a current junior in early college and I am 17 years old. Looking back on my self-assessment from the beginning of the year, I realized how much things have changed. I gave myself 3 out of 5 for enjoying working in teams. The only reason was for that is that I've experienced with groups. They either don't do their part or something else happens that can't be fixed. This year in the leadership class, we worked on the Sudan essay as a group. That didn't go as planned. In my perspective, that essay was a disaster and nothing went as planned. We also worked in the rain barrel activity as a group. We only met once before actually building the rain barrel. Cole was the one in charge of bringing the main things, but we come to find out that he forgot our things. But overall, together we came as a group and then we figured things out to get the supplies from the recycling bin or from the classroom or whatever we could find to replace the items that he was supposed to bring. Now that class is almost over, I start to realize that I have improved in various things. During this past semester or so, I have improved by learning to communicate and take action when needed. For example, the water walk was something I was in charge of. During Spring Fling, I was the one in the station and collecting signatures of those who chose to walk. The water visual project was a combination of a poem and drawings. In my project, I drew a waterfall and wrote lines from the poem The Water Cycle that came out of the clouds and into the waterfall. Personal responsibility was used since I wasn't working in a team and only I was responsible for turning in the work and completing it. This project helped me realize that even though we have the water cycle, not many countries or people are blessed to have the clean water like we do. The ripple effect made us realize how polluted water is a worldwide problem. This was done by putting together some facts and pictures to show that this example is real. It's a problem worldwide and that needs to be stopped. Critical thinking was used on this project since we had to put a sticky note about some facts about the ripple effect. Then we had to reflect on those facts and figure out a way how to turn it into a Canva. Part 1 of Caroline's project was analyzing some sources and making a quick presentation for the class. I got to learn about the Lost Boys of Sudan. Part of the project of Part 1 was to make a drawing about South Sudan, so I drew a little boy running away from home because of the war. This project really opened my eyes as to how fortunate we are to be living in the US, a place where this is rare. What I would do to help is help by finding them a job, giving them food if they need it, or any shelter. Communication was used on this project since we had to get in groups where everyone researched something different. This way everyone had the same knowledge about South Sudan and then they could do a little drawing, whatever they wanted, and then we could move on to part 2, which would be the essay. In the South Sudan essay, we worked in teams and everyone got a paragraph which needed to be written. We had to put our knowledge from the previous part, which was Caroline's project part 1, the visual representation of South Sudan. The deeper we got into South Sudan, the more I started to realize that this doesn't always happen just in movies, but this is real life. Just the fact that this is actually true and it's something young teens go through scares me. Social responsibility was used on this project. We had to cooperate in groups where we were in and decided who wanted to do what. Towards the end of class, we focused a little bit more on the energy bills, and there were several activities that you could pick out from, but you only had to do 3. I did multiple ones, and the more I read the chapters and started to analyze it and go deeper, and I started to do the activities, I thought about life. And life, you just can't take it for granted, and you just have to live with positive people, with positive things. You just have to fill yourself with positivity, because if you don't fill yourself with positivity, all you're going to have is negative people. And the more negative people you have, the more angry you get, and the more it's just not healthy. It's not good for your health, and it's just not good for the people around you that love you. As a leader, you have to learn how to put every positivity and leave the negativity out. You have to involve your passengers. And if you don't involve your passengers, you're not being a good leader because you're not listening to them. All you're doing is being greedy and then taking that role because you think that you're all that. Whenever you have a leadership role, you should always be in the middle. You should never get too high and think that you're all that just because you're the leader. You always have to listen to your passengers and love your passengers. That's what the energy boss has taught me.